Very strange indeed. I'm back, guys. I'm gonna try to post this. I'm back, y'all. I'm gonna give y'all some time to get in here. Hello, hello. Oh my God, is this charger is just really not cool. I'm gonna give y'all some time to get in here, and I'm gonna pour me like this last glass of wine. Y'all, I don't know what's going on, but I may have to come back from the computer because for some reason I think that they killing my hangouts somehow. Somehow. So let's see what it do, and if it keeps doing that, I'm gonna come back from the computer, okay? Hello, Ryan's daughter. Hello. Thank you for the thumbs up, you guys. Good evening to all of the witches. You know, everybody don't want no don't, you know, they don't want me to be a witch. It's like that's what I am though, damn it. Okay guys, it might be my internet. Feels strange. I ain't never had that happen before. Hold on, y'all. That was just so weird, y'all. It looks like I'm not having any problems since I switched off of the Wi-Fi, which is weird. But it's all good as long as it's happening right now. Hello, y'all. Hey, love bug. Hello. Yes. Yes. Let's call him in. Yes, I agree. I agree. I want to hear this song though. I haven't heard this song in a minute. Orion's daughter, can you check and see how many thumbs down I have? I want to look at my numbers. Hey, y'all go back. Take the kitty back in the sunroom. She probably needs to go to the bathroom. Two. Okay, so that's a three and a two. Okay, okay. Hey guys, if y'all could hit the thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. And I'm gonna get started in a minute. Probably should have came from my computer and did this. That is my song. That is my song. Hello, y'all. So this is High Priestess Jamila. What it do? Oh, good. You know what? My camera just flipped and I did not click it. So there must be a spirit. That's okay. We're used to spirits over here. Okay. So we are fully prepared for all spirits and all spirits. So I wanted to come and share with you guys a rare sign of being a witch that is rarely talked about, but it's a symptom that I had growing up. People thought I was bipolar. People thought I was the Charles Manson, baby Manson. Okay, so there's this one thing that witches in particular, um, like not just in front of people, but what you notice that you might do behind closed doors. And I know that this sounds like a very, very like minute symptom of being a witch because I believe that they are symptoms and side effects of being a witch because you're living in a world and you're aware of a lot of different things, or you may have certain spiritual gifts and even powers that you might be tapped into. Okay, so when I was little, I was very emotional. But so I was born on the cusp of Gemini, but I'm a Cancer. And I'm a Leo rising and I have like my Mercury in Gemini, my oh God, Mercury, what is that? Mercury in Mars. My Mars is in Gemini. And there's one other thing that's in Gemini. So I used to do this one thing because I was always very sensitive to, people, empath, big time. If you cried a lot or you were very highly emotional, okay, they labeled it as crazy or mentally ill, which has consistently hurt people like us for probably a little over 1,000 years, to be honest with you. So when I was growing up, I remember when something really negative would happen to me, like, or if something negative was happening around me, I would cry and cry my eyes out, but then I'd start laughing. And I actually would sit back and wonder what is wrong with me. I did, y'all. I was like, what the hell is wrong with me? Now, obviously, the only time that I didn't do this was when I had that miscarriage, and I honestly was very depressed. I was actually talking about it when we were doing the Banshee premiere. That's the only time I didn't, like, I went to a very, very dark place. By the way, guys, hit that thumbs up. Thank you. I went to a very, very dark place. Suicidal, homicidal. I was, oh God, not to my children, but I was mainly suicidal. I was very, very sad after that miscarriages, and like that's something that I felt like I couldn't handle, and I couldn't handle it. So anyway, I healed from that because eventually I had to heal. I am a healer, so it's part of my nature to heal. So I was able to heal myself, and then I had my son, who is So anyway, what spirit told me is that it was a form of transmutation that I was doing because if you notice that, witches will laugh at the oddest things. You know what I'm saying? And like that's one of the symptoms if you were actually able to switch. And I know that a lot of people are probably thinking she's talking about some kind of demonic entity, or y'all thinking MK Ultra. No, I am talking about, I'm trying to think of, because I did it as a child a lot. And I always had people, there was people in my family that would say mean shit to me. Some, I was that I would go through, and I would, if it was something that was really sad or something that upset me, I would cry for like a few minutes, but then I would just start laughing. And like, I swear to God, it's like, I scared the shit out of a couple of people. And I believe that a few of them were probably in my family, including my mother. Because my mother was a little verbally abusive. She was. Some of the stuff that she was a little verbally abusive. So it's like I would sit there and I would cry for like a couple of minutes, and then all of a sudden I would just start going and just start laughing at the shit. And people thought, people probably think you're psychotic. Okay, if you're doing something to purposely hurt you, and you cry at first, but then you laugh, that's called transmutation, is what it is, in my opinion, because the times that I have done that, people will look at you like, what in the world? And it spooks them, it freaks them. I want to know if any of y'all have that symptom, and I want y'all to tell the truth about it, because Spirit told me, and I haven't done it recently, especially not, I mean, not really since I've been an adult. Um, I haven't really been through anything hard like that. When my children are under attack, that's not a laughing matter. So I would never laugh at something like that. Okay. And I'm gonna be looking at you like real crazy. Okay. And witches' children often do go under attack, especially if you have spiritual gifts. But that is a symptom of being a witch, because people will think that you're psychotic and they won't fuck with you. Like they will actually have fear for you if they can say something to you that is really evil, and you cry about it, like you literally just start crying, but then you start laughing. That, I swear to God, and it's a spirit. It is in general that witch's spirit. You know what I'm saying? Laughing is a part of the witch's power. Okay, laughing or laugh. That's why they, you know what I'm saying? Usually witches have a very distinct laugh. And it's not a fake laugh or a contrived laugh. It's the way that they laugh. Okay? And so I don't, you know what, I haven't heard myself laugh in a long time. I mean, not uh I used to watch a lot of comedies and stuff, and so maybe you guys will catch it. I haven't even really paid attention to it. If I were in a position to where I was either threatened, bad energy off on me, if that energy touches me, then I'm going to transmute it. So the spirit told me that that is a natural ability to transmute energy. Okay. And they're just gonna, you know what I'm saying? They're just gonna be, you know what I'm saying? But for you to be in a circumstance and literally you're like the damn Joker, it's just as crazy. So that's one of the earlier symptoms of being a witch. I know that I did that a lot for some reason I did a lot of strange things as a child. When I look back at at, you know what I'm saying, at my childhood or whatever, I realized that there was all sorts of signs that I was showing, which had a lot to do with my spiritual power. But in general, probably about the past 1,000 years, um, they have related femininity to weakness. So they feel that females are supposed to be weak in the mind, in the body, and in the spirit. And so this is the reason why, historically, when it came to witches, because it makes a woman a lot more easier to deal with. However, he's still going to be dealing with bad spirits, because those spirits are going to come through her. Spirits come through us weaker. It's not going to make things. Okay, because I truly believe that every witch is born with natural enemies. So it made your life harder anyway. So for you to, have somebody, because when you think about it, especially when it comes to bullying, people will try to say things to you and they will have a certain intent, but it's like a natural defense mechanism. Okay, and it's not a fake laugh to where you're pretending that you're happy and you're really very sad. No, this is like some literally it's almost like you're taking that energy and you're actually throwing it back at a person. You know what I'm saying? And so that was really how a lot of witches won battles, okay? Because they weren't able to kill all witches during these crusades. There were some of the witches that they did want to kill that were very powerful, that had very powerful spirits protecting them. So it just, it like I said, it really depends. So I don't know. Like, let me see what y'all saying in the chat. It's got to be. I think this is a rare symptom, but guys, y'all gotta understand. I got bullied a lot as a child. I got bullied a lot, and my mother used to put my hair in these connecto braids and send me to school. Like, do y'all know what connecto braids are? Connecto braids is when you take one braid, you braid it, and then you do a part, and then you connect it to another part, like a block of hair, and then you just keep braiding until you end up with a basketball head. You end up just looking like a basketball head. It's not feminine at all. I don't know why my mother did that to me. Well, I do know why. It's not important anymore. So I got picked on a lot as a child, and I was the weird kid. You know what I'm saying? What can I say? Most witches. Mhm. You think I agree? We ain't. You know what? I actually read the dislikes. I read them. I read them. So in one of the videos that I put up, I actually opened up a portal in the video because they had put 11 dislikes on it. I said, "Wow, I opened up a portal." So that's why they do that. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Thank you for the energy is what I say these days, okay? Um I guess nobody else had that symptom. I remember doing it naturally. It wasn't that I was doing it purposely. I was doing it naturally. Like I would actually, like I would take pain because when you're an empath and people are anybody that is raging against somebody else is in pain. It's obvious, right? They're in pain. They're suffering. So they rage against you and they take their shit out on you. So it comes out of them as pain. But that laughter is joy. So what I was experiencing was turning pain into joy and laughter from a very young age, and because y'all, statistically, I'm gonna be honest with you, I done had just about everything, including being a dumpster baby. Okay, I'm a dumpster baby. But I wasn't left in the dumpster. I was with my sweet little auntie. And she's still alive too. So um that's one of those strange things. I don't know if anybody would admit to having that, but y'all know I'm crazy anyway, so I'm not embarrassed about anything, because for some reason it dawned on me. Like it just came to me and I said, you know what? I want to go live and talk about that. Another thing I want to talk about though. So leave a comment if you guys ever had that experience and you're a witch and you may have remembered doing it as a child, because I did it a lot as a child, and I think that that was one of the reasons why I survived. And I personally think that those were my angels and spirit guides that were doing that. Yeah, because I was in some crazy situations. That's why when I had my children, when they were really young, especially till they got old enough to be like, Mama, we want to go visit over to so and so house. When then I still should have kept them home for real, but it's okay. You can't protect them from everything. Anyway, yeah. So I was about to say something else too, but y'all probably know what I'm talking about. Okay, I will. Well, I was talking about, because I would cry, and if it was something extremely painful, or like I was feeling some extremely painful energy, I would just somehow, I don't know what it was, I would just find, because I think that people enjoy scaring other people too. And like I ended up kind of like that to where, but for me, I think it's important to transmute that energy. So like that's why I really like watching scary movies. And I don't know if y'all realize it, but the Terminator is actually free on YouTube. So that's what I'm gonna be watching tonight when I get done with this. Another thing that I want to talk to y'all about, though, this is very important, about bad energy or bad energy situation and those freaking annoying ass human sacrifice rituals that they be doing. Okay, how it interferes. I was just when I was, because I critique my own readings sometimes, right? Especially now that Gabriel Fernandez reading, I was tapped into his energy for years. For years. I was tapped into Gabriel's energy for years. Those rituals that they do, and I noticed some people took their thumbs up away. It's okay. It's fine. I'm still going to speak my mind. What I notice is that when that kind of stuff is going on, it interrupts your connection with the divine, which is probably why it's being done in the first place. That's probably the intent. And what made me want to talk about this is because I was listening to myself do a reading on the Screaming Banshee. So I'm actually going to go deeper into that at a later time. Right now, all of our frequencies are being interfered with. They are dropping our consciousness so low right now that we cannot, I know that I've been doing it anyway, and they've been trying to stop that, which is bullshit. Which is bullshit. And I kind of think that it might have something to do with religion too. Seriously. Because when I was doing that reading, there was so much more information that I could have provided that I am now tapped into, because I actually did that, the narration for that video. I actually did that like 2 or 3 days ago. And the reason why I did it was because I was trying to distract myself from all of the chaos that was going on the past week. So have y'all noticed that you feel like, girl, interrupted? I am a psychic, a telepath, and an empath. What makes you think that I'm about ready to sit Indian style and float up to the sky? I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to deal with that lower vibrational shit. Raise up your vibes, then raise them up. Get them up then. Why should I have to lower my vibrations for anybody? And so that's mainly why I was upset. This is my birth month. I intend on, I've got work that I'm doing right now that I don't even want to discuss with the public, and I'm not going to discuss, it's my birth month. So when a lot of that stuff was going on, I began to try to throw myself into my work instead of focusing on it because like I said, when you lower your vibrations and stuff like that, and when you allow things like that to lower your vibrations, it will interrupt that connection with the divine. So like for the past like 3 days ago, I was just taking bath after bath after bath, kept taking spiritual baths, kept taking baths to relax, and it was very hard to relax. It was very, and I'm like, stop. It's interrupting. So I'm gonna tell y'all something. That banshee, ooh Lord, that banshee. And I can't do nothing but I have respect for the divine. That was a part of the divine feminine. And then it was also a part of the pain and the suffering. You could even see in the video footage that I took. In both videos, they were pointing their cameras towards the sky. At least both of them that I was watching. And you could see several portals opening. You could see them. Okay. And they kept showing up and they kept flashing, they kept appearing and reappearing in the sky. So you could definitely see it in both. And they say that the banshee, the banshee kept appearing as a white cloud. So now I'm gonna tell y'all something. They about to bring the waters. The waters are coming. I'm just letting y'all know right now that whenever things get too chaotic, what Mother Earth and Mother Nature does is she sends through storms. And they are definitely going to conjure there's going to be storm, situation with the riots and stuff. Now, okay, hurricane season, especially those of you in the south, have to be prepared. So I believe that that banshee was conjured for a different purpose. But in the banshee, it's synchronicity. Somebody, she was warning the people. There was more than one person that heard that banshee. And I think it has something to do with text. I believe that it has something to do also with the evil. The world is trying to rid itself of like probably maybe 50% of the evil. That banshee, just more about the banshee, what I could pick up is that there was a child, loss of a child. It was something to do with child loss around the same time because the sun card came up and the Empress was in the reverse position. Now, this could be symbolic of there's a lot of women's children that are dying, whether or not they're babies or little children. I don't think that people just stop caring about their kids dying just because they get older, unless they're demonically possessed and they're literally transmuting every goddamn possible thing that could happen. Because I'm sorry, what could be so heartbreaking about love if you don't believe in the divine is that that eventually you have to be separated from this person. And the same thing when it comes to being a parent and having children, and then also, going into the afterlife and dying or ascending. By the way, guys, there is a realm where you can live you don't age in this realm. So there's so many different portals that are opening. The fact that was actually a very, very miraculous spiritual occurrence that is happening over in Texas. But what I will tell you is that it really depends. What happens after this is going to depend on your trust in your spirits. So, for example, if the banshee was saying to Texas, there may be, you know what I'm saying, something coming. You know what I'm saying? If that's what she was saying, how connected are you with the divine to where you can weather the storm and you know that you can trust? Kind of the same thing with Noah's Ark. Noah's Ark is symbolic of the same exact thing, only they always had all of the miracles happening to men. The only thing that women were ever promised to in the Bible was death. Death, and sit down and I'm going to tell you what to do. So God, that was such a mistake. But it's okay because everything happens for a reason. Because it's all good. It's not anything that I suffer from, you know what I'm saying? Because the people I choose to have the people in my life that accept me for who I am and love me regardless, you know what I'm saying? And so I just wanted to talk about that because it's so frustrating when you have something to do. Now, right now, I'm gonna be honest with you. Right now, what we're supposed to be doing is we are supposed to be pulling in this energy of paradise. We are supposed to be pulling in the paradigm of paradise and peace, and they don't want it going on in the world. Wait, oh my God, it's so wicked. It's she could have been a manifestation energy over that. So it's a possibility because my hangout keeps buffering and it's never done this before. Clearly, I'm doing the right thing by telling y'all this. And I've verbally and vocally, I have vocalized my desire. I'm seeing repeat. I saw repeating 13 disdain for that slave ritual that they just did last week. I have been expressing my disdain for that for a while. I have been. But you know what? I feel like the what spirit is saying is that, you know, we gonna take, we're gonna take you and take your mind off of that because I'm not gonna risk billions of people for one person. So that's what I wanted to say. Those of you that are path, many of you do have a responsibility to usher this energy in, however way you know how. Whether or not it's opening a portal, pulling something through a portal, transmutation, um, it's not a word for it, but it's when you literally pull the reality that you're supposed to live in over your earth. But then there's always somebody that tries to pull, almost like a blanket. They blanket you and they cloak you with this alternate reality that is very unpleasant, very gassy, just very uncomfortable. I felt generalized, just uncomfortable. I felt very uncomfortable. And I don't like feeling uncomfortable. That wasn't like, whatever that was, it was so damn random. It was like, are you kidding me? And, there was so much that was happening. And the fact that Screaming Banshee came right around the same time, as a matter of fact, proves that there's always some kind of made up, contrived thing, some kind of game that's being played that it is connected to the spirit realm, but it's not necessarily connected to the divine. It's not. It's connected to. I mean, so that all of this chaos, there's going to be order out of this chaos. For how long? Will this reality creep back in, president? He's a Gemini. Is not Donald Trump's fault. He's not God. So, yeah, I don't participate in it because I don't really agree with it. But what do you do? You know, it's been like this for a while now, at least the last, what, 1,000 years. So, what do you do? I think that it's important for you to try to get for you to learn to have the spirits control the government around you. But it has to be fair. You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of people wonder why so many unfair things happen to them, and that's because you are not connected. You are totally living in a reality that you're living in like an alternate reality, when you do that. I was really, really irritated listening to that reading that I did on the Banshee. So when things calm down and I'm able to actually tap in, because I was really literally, there have been so even interruptions. These spirits, and they're bad spirits. They are. And then some of them are spirits of children, and then other spirits that are in suffering. They will interrupt readings. And a spirit interrupting your psychic reading is not necessarily connected with you. It just might be just a random spirit. So I noticed that when I'm doing my readings, random energies are coming in, and they're hanging up the damn phone. They're causing interruptions in the frequencies, and literally, trying to, and it's, I feel like it's definitely messing with some of the psychics. Now, for me, I don't know. I guess eventually I'm going to come to grips with that, to where my opinion matters. You should never let anybody's opinion matter to you, not even mine. Because to be honest with you, when I am on a certain path and when I am on a frequency, I have what is called determination. So, it was irritating for me because I felt I'm trying to find my bliss. Like the energy was being used for that. And example, when I was doing my readings, it was really difficult. I did a reading for somebody over in New York. You can feel the thickness in the air over in New York. So I think New York caught it worse than anybody. Just everything that has been happening, with which this has already been predicted. I predicted this years ago when I first put up this channel. Probably about 6 months into doing readings, I talked about that. I talked about California, Kansas City, Missouri, not Kansas City, Kansas, but Kansas City, Missouri. There was a lot of murders in Kansas City, Missouri. That's a bloody town. That is a bloody place. I predicted Kansas City, Missouri, California, and New York. Okay, and New York was what I could see some stuff happening. Now, a lot of people were talking about Florida, but Florida is very protected. It all depends. Okay. Many, like, for some reason, even though all of that spiritual stuff was going on down there in Louisiana, they still got hit with Katrina. So that's why a lot of people was like, wait a minute, this doesn't make any sense. This is sacred ground. Why is it not protected? So that's why a lot of people was thinking that, they hooked up that storm that destroyed Louisiana over there. I don't have the answer for that at the moment. The spirit's not giving me anything from that, but because right now my spirits are in the here and they're in the now and they're in the tomorrow. I've always been the type of person to where even if me and you get into it, I'm not thinking about it the next day. And so people and so that is a form of transmutation, especially if something negative happens and then you take the situation and you say, hey, listen, you know, we're going to be positive about this situation. I'm not going to allow this situation to drag me back into negative thinking or into negative feelings. And I'm going to move forward. I'm going to sit here and I should have plenty of high speed, outdated right now. I don't have a 5G. I have a 4G. Yeah, it was buffering. It was buffering. I don't know why it's buffering. I was born in New York and now I live in Houston. I don't want to live in this stupid country, yo. This is global. This is global. Believe it or not, this is something very global. Okay, so it doesn't matter where you're at. To be honest with you, but location does matter. It does. I think that it's certain locations within where you're at. For example, if you have a property that is built where there was a lot of spiritual stuff that was happening. I know that in Kansas City, I had a vision of rough it was in Kansas City, Missouri, just 100 years ago. Okay, imagine when they first freed the slaves and see Kansas City, Missouri. Missouri was the last state to free the slaves, by the way, guys. But that had, to me, I don't feel a connection like that to slavery. I don't. And I don't think that every African American person has to, because, I think it would depend on who you were in your previous life. Real talk. Especially if you around your familials and they ain't very familiar to you. And you feeling like, what in the hell? Who dropped me off in this sick pumpkin patch? What the hell? And you're so different from the rest of your family, and you're like, what the hell? Did I come into the wrong vessel? And no, you didn't, because that was what it was then. So you appreciate your family for that aspect. But when it comes to deciding your whole entire life, and see, generational hexes do not have to be based upon past life. Generational hexes can just be based upon, the family that you came into and who your mama and who your daddy is in that current life. So even if like 3 or 4 generations ago, which was what, that's like 100, 200 years ago, 300, okay, 400 years ago, your family that you're in now, your great great grandmother could have done something, but to be honest with you, you have ancestors that trump those ancestors. So it don't matter what your great grandma did. You have the right to break that, but they form a binding tie on you next with your past life, or even if you have one at all, because there's a lot of people that did not have a past life. This is their first time here, and we recognize them. We recognize them. Okay? I believe that those are those people that they have that odd behavior, but they just have these new, fresh ideas, which can either be good or bad. But, so. But yeah, that's what I've been dealing with the past few days, because I've got 3 oracle decks that I would love to sit down and do readings, but there is too much negativity that is tapped into our consciousness, and it irritates the bejesus out of me, because why do we have to go through this over and over and over again? Okay, 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 good Lord. You know, you know what, I'm gonna be honest with you. The people that do resonate or feel that they were slaves in a previous life for a very long time, they sure do know how to keep them as slaves. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? Because they still slaves. It ain't shit changed. Not to say that a lot of them tell the ones that struggle with it, because the moment they bring up anything like, it just triggers them and they just go all the way backwards. They get stuck in the sunken place. And then there's other people that are like, what the hell are they tripping off of? Like, my goddess. So I have a deeper level of understanding of what's going on, but you have to suffer with me, because I don't have to suffer with no one unless I love them and care about them. Otherwise, because if black people keep, I'm gonna tell y'all something. If black people keep, like, I'm talking about going, okay, say something, speak up for your rights, but then go on. It doesn't. It stops them. It shuts them down completely. God ordained me to say that, then I got the fucking right to say it. And I'm going to say it because it's the best thing for you ultimately. Because even if you were a slave in the previous life, you're not one in this one. You're not one in this one. And I know, because I was actually trying to find pictures of Kate Barker, and they don't have any pictures of her hardly when she was young. And I have my suspicions about why. She had you could, like, I don't know, like, it's just something about her looks that is unique. Well, I was looking for pictures of her and I couldn't. You know what? I would be willing to pay an artist to maybe draw a picture of her instead of doing an age progression. Maybe do an age regression picture of her, so that we can have like a picture of what she looked like when she was younger. Because unless I don't know about it, or maybe people in the family have them and they haven't released them. But there's literally only a couple of pictures of her. One of her dead, and the other two are when she was older. And I know that there were pictures of her. Anyway, so and I realized that that is what we were experiencing, guys. And this is how I feel, honestly. I love black people, and I actually really do love black culture, because black culture is black magic within itself. In a lot of the ways of black culture, but for us to go back to go back that far, I don't feel the need to do that. I really don't. And I think that I think that it's important to move forward, because I feel like if somebody can go from being in a place to where, you know, to where I was, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, I'm much more, what's the word that I'm thinking? I'm much more wiser than I was in that lifetime. Um, hey, Keita's World, how are you? Let me see you up in here. Hello, Alchemy Gold. Hello. Yeah, it was really and then I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I could have lit a candle for for George and then moved on. I can't shut down, and people wasn't feeling me on that. And I was like, well, Fountain, because I just can't deal with this. Because I mean, I don't know, like I truly believe that that it's something about death that does open up a portal. It just depends on what you were doing. Cause I was in the, I felt like I feel like your spirit travels through your own mind, especially depending on how you died. You find out a lot, and when you come here, you don't necessarily forget, but you do sort of forget your previous life. But for some reason, this is, for you to make sense of, certain things that are happening in your life. Hey, Lady Vaughn, how are you? Good evening. Hey, Hot Roderick, hello. Yeah. But let me tell you, when you got the whole world, like that video got broadcasted to the whole world. So the whole world was in that consciousness. In 1717, the whole world was in that consciousness, which, I mean, I totally get it. Uh, but I will tell you that, not I mean, just saying, in the spirit of Lilith, why not all the outrage when black women get killed? Why is there no outrage then? Why is there nobody marching? I know that for me, so that kind of, why are we not showing the same love for women that were killed by the police? Why is there a difference? Is what I want to know. Good question. Things that make you go, hmm. Well, first of all, probably now the numbers are down to about 70% of the entire world believes in religion. And religion teaches men that women are less valuable. And that's a problem. So then when you start, and I'm telling y'all, y'all gonna be seeing all kind of stuff. Wait till fall. Wait till fall. The stuff that we gonna see. It's probably gonna be screaming banshees in every town, probably. Because that spirit of that divine feminine, she needs recognition. And they keep kicking her. They keep saying you're not important. You're not important. You're just the fucking cow that gave birth to a man, and just shut and sit down. And even though I'm gonna go out here and start a war with my fellow man, I'm not gonna listen to you when you tell me not to do it, because I did just well, where does it come from? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that, to be honest with you, like to see us living is where, we just kind of make love all day and not war. What's wrong with that? Okay, I am a hippie chick. And it ain't even about being a hippie, but it is to say that to you. And I will tell you that the whole gender war thing, that is a pot that's boiling. It's boiling as far as with men and women, and the difference between the two. And I'm just telling you, it's happening right now. So when when you want to think about like all of the, like, these mythical creatures and stuff that we think are just a myth, wait till they start materializing, and people are going to be catching all this stuff on camera. Okay. And that one was amazing because you could not only see it, but you could hear it. So I definitely feel that I think that when you get to a certain point and you start seeing stuff, you're able to know what's happening in that situation, and you know whether or not to. So for me, I kind of separated myself from the rest of the world when it came to that. And that's exactly what my spirits wanted me to do, because it is spirit, and that spirit was on a lot of people, a lot of people. And some of the people that that spirit connected to, they can't seem to get themselves up. They're very much down. They're sad about the world. They feel like, oh, this world is so messed up. You know what? The world is messed up because people decide to make their world messed up. That's why I said you have a choice in the places where you're at. When you come in here, you have a choice. You make your own choices, and you make your bed, and you have to lay in it. And you know what? I've been in situations to where it was out of control, and I was being pulled into a world that, certain things was happening to me, and I was dealing with past life regression at the same time. At the time, I didn't realize it, but that's what was happening, even when I think back over the past several years. And so many of y'all are dealing with so many different things at the same time, and you have to put all of them into perspective. You have to put them all and prioritize them too. Okay, you are first. Number one, God, you are first. And then, of course, your children are connected with that. So they're up there with you. And then, it kind of trickles down. And, but that's not to say that, a black man is at the bottom of the totem pole, like, oh, he's not important. Like, I don't care. But what it is that it's about what is your priority. My priority is me, my family, and that's what I chose to make a priority. Now, I can tell you this, people that were not on top of things, they were very vulnerable and susceptible to all of this negative energy. So you probably were catching bad energy from people saying crazy stuff, people being really angry, people lashing out, during that time when we think back. And many of y'all know what I was dealing with. So, yeah. Yeah. So that to me is like, okay, you don't let your family and your situation spiral out of control to the point where that energy is just kind of, because it wasn't good. It wasn't a good energy. And I'm be honest with you. I I honestly don't see anything good coming from it. I really don't. Not from any of it. Not the way that it ended, not the way that it began, in the middle of it, and the end, because nobody still learned a lesson. Nobody really, like, a lot of people did. So confused about that. And the confusion comes in when you say to yourself, nobody likes black people. Well, that's obviously not true. Like, I think sometimes people go to the extreme. Hold on, y'all. That girl must be up there flat ironing her hair or something. Yeah, I agree about that. When life gives you lemons, make lemonade. But I just, for me, I'm very, very careful about what because I've never been the type of person to run towards the fight. Like when you were in school and there was a fight, and people would always run towards the fight. I was one of the only people. There was a few select ones that were just as smart as me. They would walk away from that. And it was a good thing that we did, because one day they was throwing bleach. They were out to Westport. I went to Westport Middle School. Okay, and so back then it was all about school, 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 school. You gotta get to school, go to school. Mom, Dad, they were throwing bleach today. Really? So what else happened? Like really? Like you're not at all concerned about the fact that I just told you that I could have gotten blinded today? Gosh, whatever. I know that if I'm gonna tell you something, if my children would have ever came home and told me that they were throwing bleach, I would be up at that school questioning what the hell is going on. Where's security at? Why are their children throwing bleach at each other at the school? It just doesn't make any sense. So yeah, I went and got on the bus. Of course, whenever you had a fight, you were not allowed to get on the bus. So luckily, those people never got on the bus, and I was able to make it home safely. But yeah, so anyway, I don't know how I got on that subject, but anyway. That's just me. Oh yeah, that's how I got on that. That's just me. That's how I've always been. And I think that it's not to say, I'm not saying to avoid conflict, but there is a way to settle your differences. That's all I'm saying. There is a way to settle your differences always. You don't have to, because it seems like people, they just get escalated, and the next thing you know, people are getting shot, people are dying, people want to fight, and it's like, what the fuck are you fighting over? Like what are you doing? This is stupid. So I just think that, again, it's that self-destructive spirit that is in a lot of people. And I'm just really careful about, the spirits that I let in. And some of them will force their way in your house. You know. So, hold on, y'all. So I don't know, guys. Like, I think I think that sometimes in social media, sometimes I've got to stay away from certain things. You hear about stuff, you say, okay, spirit, love and light, and rest in peace. And, because, I mean, it's not that you don't care. It's not that you don't care. It's just that you have way too much other stuff to care about. you know? And as far as our men on this planet, I think that it's important for them to understand that as well. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, it'll just, uh, mm, anyway. I'm thinking that everything is calmed down now. So, up. I'm getting a low battery indicator. So I'm going to go, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment if you have ever experienced that. I have been trying to tap into, because we all have the ability to do alchemy, um, just even without candles and stuff like that. But I think that when we were kids, it was easier to do it. Because I think that the older that you get, sometimes it can get harder and harder. Thank you, Orion's daughter. Thank you for coming. Oh, did you? Yeah, I'm about to go, you guys. Love and light and blessed be to all of you witches out there, and I'll see y'all later, okay? I'm going to really try to sit down and get some readings done. I kind of wanted to do some today. Like, I cannot stand it when I can't do readings, and I felt that way for like the past few days, and it's just not a very good feeling at all. And it wasn't, it's not that I didn't feel that I couldn't do it, but I have a lot of fun sitting down and doing my readings, especially with the new cards. And so I've been wanting to get that done, but it's just been so much happening that I haven't been able to. So, yeah, the energy is really thick. I need some closure real soon. Because otherwise, I was thinking about staying out. This is like, oh, yes, it is. It's very hard channeling right now. Yep. Yep, yep. That's what I was smelling. I gotta go put some more stuff in there. So y'all have a good one. Yeah, it's like a blockage, Orion's daughter. It's like a blockage. Yes, it was. And so I think that if you are feeling blocked creatively, then just unblock yourself. If you don't know how to do that, which I don't know. If you're already a witch and you know how to do that already. But a lot of people don't know how, and like many of you guys were getting ready to step forward, but you can't put the responsibility of your spiritual journey onto somebody else. Like, that's your own individual journey. So yeah. Yeah, I've been lighting incense, and I got some Florida water. In fact, I can't wait to take a bath because I like to put some of that Florida water in my bath. I love it. It is amazing for cleaning off the crown chakra. So yeah. Yeah, definitely. Okay, guys, I'll see y'all later. Peace and blessings. Bye.